Welcome to the latest of the Edgar Burroughs mini podcasts. These short podcasts are meant to supplement the full-length episodes I host with Jess Terrell and Scott Stewart, in which we usually discuss one of Burroughs' novels in detail. My name is Tim DeForest. I'm the author of several books about pre-digital pop culture, things like old-time radio, pulp magazines, newspaper comic strips, and the like. And I keep a blog about such things at Comics, Old-Time Radio, and Other Cool Stuff. Now, currently, we're using the mini podcast to do a chapter-by-chapter analysis of the 1912 novel Tarzan of the Apes. And in this episode, we'll be talking about Chapter 11. Please note that I may be including spoilers for both this novel and occasionally for later novels in the series. I would also recommend that you take a few minutes to reread the chapter we're talking about today, as I will be assuming that you're familiar with it as I discuss it. Now, Chapter 11 is titled King of the Jungle, and we do indeed see Tarzan climb to the top of the Ape's social ladder. We start with yet another example of Tarzan's intelligence and extraordinary patience as he practices with the bow and arrow enough to get proficient with it. The bow will, in fact, be one of his primary weapons throughout his adventures. And since his practice at this time uses up all these arrows, a return to the native village is necessary. Now, it's here we see one of the major reasons that Tarzan has a cynical attitude towards mankind for the rest of his life, though this eventually becomes a more healthy cynicism in which he recognizes the worth of individuals. When Tarzan or the apes kill, they do so quickly for food or self-defense. So when he sees the natives torture and eat a captive, he develops a very low opinion of them. Now, one can argue that Tarzan is showing a degree of hypocrisy here. He does have sometimes a malicious sense of humor. We see another example of that in this chapter when he throws the skull into the middle of the village. And we've been told that, unlike the apes, he sometimes kills for fun. But neither he nor the apes ever torture anything. So this is the aspect of what the natives are doing that raises his moral ire. This, along with the fact that one of the natives has killed Kala, is why Tarzan develops an attitude that all black men are his enemies. As I've mentioned before, in the next book, Tarzan will have an epiphany that leaves him feeling ashamed and realizing he's wrong to judge men as in a group rather than as individuals. I'll be talking more about this when we get to chapter 25 of the novel. The return visit to the village accomplishes two things. On the short term, it nets him another supply of arrows. On the long term, it convinces the natives that they've offended a local god, and the natives begin leaving Tarzan offerings of arrows and food on a regular basis. So with more arrows and a growing proficiency with the bow, Tarzan finally accomplishes one of his major life goals in killing Saber the lioness. He takes her skin, and Burroughs adds here that Tarzan had practiced skinning smaller animals, so this skill is earned rather than just appearing. It's another minor but important example of Burroughs' skill as a storyteller. Soon after killing Saber, Tarzan finally has his confrontation with Kershak. It's a wonderfully described and exciting fight scene, with Tarzan's intelligence and knife bringing him a hard-won victory. So Tarzan, who began the novel as a helpless baby whose real parents had just been killed, is now the king of the apes. His journey along the path from ape to man continues, and he'll soon be breaking off his connection to Kershak's tribe completely. So that's it for now. Once again, my name is Tim DeForest. Please visit my blog at Comics, Old-Time Radio, and Other Cool Stuff, where you'll also find a link to my Amazon.com author page. Keep an ear out for future episodes of both the mini podcasts and the full-length episodes. And just thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll be back with another episode soon.